Hello and welcome. March 11th, 2026 has just given us an extraordinary moment in science, one that challenges everything we thought we knew about physics. At 4 a.m. UTC, the object known as 3I, Atlas, was roughly the size of Earth. Just 1 hour later, by 5 a.m. UTC, it had expanded its coma to an unimaginable 1.5 million kilometers in diameter. Let that sink in for a moment. This object grew explosively, outpacing even the size of Jupiter. I'm Dr. Michio Kaku, and for much of my career, I've tackled some of the most bizarre aspects of physics, from black holes to the theoretical multiverse. But what the James Webb Space Telescope and the Atacama Large Millimeter Array just observed is not theoretical, it is happening right now in our solar system. Imagine watching a pot of water on the stove, then, suddenly, with no heat source and no chemical reaction, it expands to fill the entire room in the blink of an eye. This is the scale of what just happened. 240 million kilometers from Earth, NASA's Deep Space Network flagged the anomaly. At first, they thought it was a glitch, maybe a calibration issue with the Deep Space Station 43 antenna in Canberra. But when the Subaru telescope in Hawaii provided visual confirmation, it became clear this was no error. The coma, the cloud of gas surrounding the object, expanded at an extraordinary speed of 400 kilometers per second. That's not just fast, it's violent, explosive. And what's even more baffling, the expansion was perfectly symmetrical. Picture the amount of energy required to accelerate billions of tons of matter that quickly and that uniformly. We don't see the chaotic, erratic sublimation you'd expect from a comet. Instead, we see a controlled event, a release of energy that looks more deliberate than natural. This expansion is unlike anything we've seen in comets before. If this were just a regular comet, the solar wind would stretch that cloud into a long, thin tail, but 3I Atlas is holding its shape. This is now the largest single object in the inner solar system, second only to the Sun. And it achieved this in the time it takes to watch a TV show. The implications are profound. A celestial object expanding like this changes how it interacts with solar radiation. It changes its drag coefficient. It alters its trajectory. This is no longer the object we tracked yesterday. The physics have changed, the rules have changed, and the burning question now is, why? Let's dive deeper into the data. Up until March 10th, 2026, 3I Atlas was nothing extraordinary. Discovered late in 2025, it was catalogued as a standard hyperbolic comet, essentially a frozen rock, perhaps 15 kilometers wide, traveling through space on a predictable, straight-line trajectory. Nothing to worry about, right? But at 4:12 a.m. UTC on March 10th, everything changed. The first anomaly was gravitational. The Doppler shift of the return signal from the Deep Space Network's antenna in Madrid, SS63, detected an unexpected massive shift. Normally, when a comet releases gas, it causes a tiny push, a non-gravitational acceleration of roughly 0.00001 meters per second squared. But 3I Atlas exhibited a velocity change of 2.4 kilometers per second. That's not a push, that's a rocket engine ignition. Think about that for a second. A massive rock 240 million kilometers away accelerated faster than any chemical rocket we've ever built, and it did so instantly. Now, skeptics might argue that this was just a sensor error. After all, in science, we demand verification, and we got it. NASA's Deep Space Network flagged the anomaly. The European Space Agency's Gaia spacecraft, which maps the galaxy, independently confirmed the shift in position with a precision of 0.03 arcseconds. The Subaru telescope in Hawaii corroborated the data with optical brightening. 3 independent sources, using different methods, all arrived at the same conclusion. This was no glitch. This was a physical event of extraordinary magnitude. That wasn't the only anomaly. 30 minutes later, at 4:45 a.m. UTC, something even more bizarre occurred. The coma, the cloud surrounding 3I, Atlas, expanded to an incredible 1.5 million kilometers, dwarfing even Jupiter. According to standard thermodynamics, when gas expands that quickly in the vacuum of space, it should cool rapidly, dropping to near absolute zero. But when the James Webb Space Telescope's NIRCam instrument observed the cloud, it found something unexpected. The core temperature didn't drop, it spiked. The infrared spectrum showed that the nucleus was glowing at 800 Kelvin, or 500 degrees Celsius. That's 500 degrees Celsius in the vacuum of space, far from the sun. Normally, comets are frozen solid at minus 200 degrees Celsius. Now, think about this. We have an object that grew 10 times the size of Jupiter, accelerated at a rate faster than any rocket, and heated up from the inside out. The energy required to achieve that is beyond comprehension. To heat a 15-kilometer rock to 500 degrees Celsius in under an hour would require terawatts of power. That's more energy than the entire nuclear arsenal of Earth combined, all released in a single hour. So, where is this energy coming from? A natural comet has no internal power source, it's just frozen rock and ice. It cannot heat itself, it cannot steer itself. But the data from 3I, Atlas, suggests that it is doing both. Was it a collision? Did it hit something? We ran the models, and if 3I, Atlas, collided with a massive asteroid, yes, there would be a cloud, heat, but also chaos. There would be debris flying in random directions. But what we are seeing is symmetry, perfect spherical expansion. The cloud isn't drifting off in random directions. It's centered on the nucleus, which implies gravity. But here's the problem. A 15-kilometer rock doesn't have enough gravity to hold such a large cloud together. It's physically impossible unless the mass of the object is far higher than we thought, or unless something else is holding that cloud in place. And that brings us to the third anomaly, the Atacama Large Millimeter Array, ALMA, in Chile. One of the most sensitive radio telescopes on Earth, just completed a molecular analysis of the massive cloud. They were looking for water, carbon dioxide, and the usual chemical compounds, but what they found was something unprecedented in a comet. They detected metallic vapor, specifically ionized titanium and vaporized iron. These elements don't vaporize until temperatures reach nearly 3,000 degrees Celsius. How is that possible? The sun is too far away to provide that kind of heat. There's no friction in space, no chemical reaction known to science that could produce this amount of heat inside a ball of ice. Even Dr. Avi Loeb at Harvard, a leading scientist in the field of interstellar objects, expressed his astonishment. This is not standard sublimation. The presence of metallic vapor is something entirely new, something that could change everything we know about comets. As the mystery deepens, the data continues to unfold in ways we never anticipated. At 6:15 a.m. UTC, just 2 hours after the initial expansion, something unprecedented occurred. The Subaru telescope in Hawaii, with its massive 8.2-meter mirror, detected a secondary brightening within the expanding coma, but this wasn't a simple reflection of light off dust. It was something distinct, something rhythmic. The light curve showed a clear pattern. Every 13.8 minutes, the luminosity of the coma increased by 40%, then dimmed again. This is not what we expect from a comet. Comets do rotate, yes, but a 15-kilometer rock shouldn't be able to spin at that rate without disintegrating. The centrifugal force alone would tear it apart. It would be like spinning a snowball on a drill at 5,000 revolutions per minute. The tensile strength of ice and rock is simply not enough to hold the object together at that speed. But 3I Atlas didn't break apart, it remained intact. The pulse continued, rhythmically, every 13.8 minutes. This suggests one of two possibilities. Either 3I Atlas is made of a material far stronger than a regular rock, something with the tensile strength of solid steel, or there's an active process happening inside the core, something we don't understand. The probability of a natural comet spinning up to such speeds without disintegrating is virtually zero. The probability of it emitting a rhythmic light pulse every 13.8 minutes is also zero. And both of these phenomena occurring together in the same object? That's statistically impossible. In the 4 million years of cometary observation, from the earliest recorded sightings to the modern era of Hubble and Webb, we have never encountered this combination of characteristics. Comets are chaotic, unpredictable objects, yet 3I Atlas behaves with perfect symmetry and rhythm. It's as if it's defying the laws of nature itself. And that's not all. By 7 a.m. UTC, the data from the Atacama Large Millimeter Array, ALMA, grew even more bizarre. The ALMA telescope, known for its incredible sensitivity, finished analyzing the molecular composition of the massive cloud surrounding 3I Atlas. Initially, they expected to find common elements like water and carbon dioxide. But instead, they detected something no one could have anticipated: metallic vapor, specifically ionized titanium and vaporized iron. These metals don't vaporize unless they reach temperatures of nearly 3,000 degrees Celsius. Let's pause and think about this for a moment. Earlier, we established that the core temperature of 3I Atlas was around 500 degrees Celsius. But now, to vaporize metal, you need the kind of heat produced by a rocket exhaust or a blast furnace, temperatures far beyond anything that could naturally occur in the depths of space. How is this possible? The sun is too far away to provide such heat. There's no friction in space, and no known chemical reaction can generate that kind of energy inside a frozen rock. Even Dr. Avi Loeb, a leading astrophysicist who has long speculated about artificial interstellar objects, was taken aback by this discovery. The presence of metallic vapor in a comet's coma at such a distance is completely unprecedented. This isn't just an anomaly in the data, it's an anomaly in the very laws of physics as we understand them. So, what does this mean? Well, the scientific community is grappling with a new reality, one that goes far beyond the realm of natural phenomena. Could this object, 3I Atlas, be something entirely different from a regular comet? Could it be an artificial object, or even a spacecraft? This possibility was once considered pure science fiction, but with every new data point, it's becoming harder to deny. The presence of metallic vapor in the coma, combined with the rhythmic light pulses, suggests that 3I Atlas is not behaving like any natural object we've studied before. It is exhibiting behavior that can only be described as engineered, as though someone or something designed it to function in this way. And if this is true, then we are witnessing something that could change our understanding of the universe forever. As we dive deeper into the analysis, the questions keep piling up. Could 3I Atlas be a probe, a message from an advanced civilization? Or is it an entirely different kind of phenomenon, one that we're not even close to understanding? The implications of these discoveries are staggering, and we're just getting started. As the investigation into 3I Atlas continues, the data becomes even more puzzling and, frankly, impossible to ignore. At 9:12 a.m. UTC, just 1 hour after the most recent findings, the Hubble Space Telescope's Wide Field Camera 3 made a discovery that would shock the scientific community to its core. During its final calibration pass over 3I, Atlas, Hubble captured an image that, quite frankly, shouldn't exist. What Hubble observed was something that no comet in recorded history has ever shown a coherent structure within the expanding coma. Typically, inside a comet's coma, the nucleus is chaotic, a swirling mess of jets and dust. It's irregular, random, but Hubble's image was different. It revealed a perfectly formed ring of plasma, precisely 2,000 kilometers in diameter, encircling the nucleus. This is not a natural feature of comets. Plasma, as we know, doesn't form rings like this unless it is contained by a magnetic field. And that's where things get even more extraordinary. A 15-kilometer rock like 3I, Atlas simply shouldn't have a magnetic field strong enough to produce this phenomenon. After all, comets are frozen bodies, often just chunks of rock and ice. They don't have molten cores or strong magnetic fields. Yet, 3I, Atlas is generating a magnetic field with a strength of 40 Gauss, 80 times stronger than Earth's magnetic field. This revelation has left scientists scrambling for answers. How is this possible? How is an object that is essentially a tiny rock generating a magnetic field of such immense strength? If 3I, Atlas, is a natural object, then we would have to rewrite everything we know about planetary magnetism. But if it isn't a natural object, if it's something engineered, then the implications are even more profound. Now, let's pause for a moment and consider the broader implications of this magnetic field. In addition to generating a strong magnetic field, 3I, Atlas's plasma ring, behaves as if it's acting as a particle accelerator. A magnetic field of this strength can trap high-energy particles, creating a radiation belt. And as strange as it may sound, that radiation belt is currently beaming a signal directly at Earth. This is not just random cosmic noise, it's a coherent, narrowband radio transmission emitted at the hydrogen line frequency of 1,420 MHz. For decades, scientists have been listening for signals at this frequency. This is the same frequency that the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, SETI, has been monitoring for over 60 years. And now, for the first time, a signal is being transmitted from inside our own solar system. What's more, this signal isn't just random static, it's modulated. It repeats a sequence of prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, and then it stops, only to repeat again. Let that sink in. This isn't a pulsar or a quasar. This is a clear, mathematical pattern, something that is distinctly artificial. For 70 years, we've listened to the cosmos in search of this kind of signal, but until now, we've only ever heard such patterns from distant stars or galaxies. We've never received a coherent, mathematically structured signal from a comet in our own solar system. The fact that this signal is coming from 3I, Atlas, changes everything. The Green Bank Telescope in West Virginia first detected the signal, initially thinking it might be interference, but upon further investigation, they confirmed the source, 3I, Atlas. Within minutes, the European Space Agency, ESA, confirmed the same, and the Chinese Fast Telescope verified the signal as well. For the first time, we are receiving a signal from an object in our solar system that has the unmistakable characteristics of an intelligent transmission. What we are witnessing here is not a natural event. This is not a simple comet barreling through our solar system. This is something far more complex, something that we are only beginning to understand. The implications are staggering, and the more we analyze the data, the more questions arise. If 3I Atlas is broadcasting prime numbers and generating an artificial magnetic field, then we have to ask, what is the purpose behind this transmission? Is it a message? Is it a signal from an intelligent civilization, perhaps from deep space? Or is it something else, an advanced piece of technology that we've yet to comprehend? As we dive deeper into the enigmatic behavior of 3I Atlas, the mysteries continue to pile up. By 9:12 a.m. UTC, it became clear that the object's capabilities were beyond anything we had ever imagined. As the data streams from multiple observatories continued to pour in, something even stranger emerged, an observation so baffling that it defies all current scientific understanding. The perfect spherical expansion, the rhythmic light pulses, the vaporized metals, the artificial magnetic field, and the prime number sequence, everything pointed to a singular possibility. 3I Atlas may not be a natural comet at all. To understand why this is so significant, let's look back at what we thought we knew about comets. For centuries, comets have been seen as simple celestial bodies, frozen chunks of rock and ice hurtling through space, mostly insignificant in the grand scale of the universe. They had little more importance than as markers of time or cosmic curiosity, but 3I Atlas has shattered that view entirely. This object is showing behaviors that are not only unprecedented, but also suggest something more deliberate, more engineered. It is as if this comet is actively trying to communicate with us, or at the very least, to make its presence known in ways that no natural object could. The possibility that we are witnessing the work of an intelligent civilization or some advanced technology is no longer confined to the realm of science fiction. We have the data to support it. The rhythmic pulses, the magnetic field, the strange metallic vapor, these are the kinds of things we expect to see from high-tech machinery or devices capable of manipulating matter and energy on an unprecedented scale. If 3I Atlas is a constructed object, then its creators must possess technology far beyond anything we have on Earth today. What we do know for certain is that the nature of 3I Atlas has fundamentally altered the way we approach space exploration. The scientific community is now grappling with a truth that few of us were prepared for. We are no longer simply studying an ancient, frozen rock from the distant reaches of our solar system. We are studying something much more complex, something that could hold answers to questions we hadn't even thought to ask. And whatever this object is, it's not just an anomaly. It's a signal, a warning, or perhaps even a harbinger of something far more profound. As we track 3I Atlas, the clocks are ticking. In just a few hours, this object will cross Mars' orbit, and as it does, its expansion continues at an exponential rate. With every passing minute, the radius of its coma grows larger and its magnetic field intensifies. The question now is, what will happen when it reaches Mars? Will the object continue its journey through our solar system, or is it preparing for something far more significant? Are we witnessing the birth of something new in the cosmos, or the awakening of an ancient technology that has been dormant for eons? As the hour draws near, we are entering the final stages of what is quickly becoming the most significant astronomical event in modern history. At 9:12 a.m. UTC, the Hubble Space Telescope's final calibration pass revealed that 3I Atlas's coma was not just expanding, it was evolving. The signal, which had been steadily growing, began to increase in intensity. The rhythmic pulses, now clearly defined, continued with an eerie precision. Every 13.8 minutes, the object's luminosity surged by 40%, then dimmed again, only to repeat the cycle. The mathematical precision of this pattern, combined with everything we know about the object, suggests something far beyond the capabilities of any natural comet. And yet, the most mind-boggling discovery came from a source no one could have predicted: the magnetic field. At 9:12 a.m. UTC, the data confirmed that 3I, Atlas's magnetic field, was continuing to grow, surpassing Earth's by 80 times. This is a magnetic dynamo at work, a force strong enough to trap particles and generate radiation. As the object continues its trajectory, it's not just expanding, it's building. It's constructing a structure, an artificial object of some kind, with capabilities we cannot yet fully understand. So, what does this mean for us here on Earth? The implications are staggering. The object's rapid expansion, its increasing magnetic field, its artificial pulse, these are not just signs of a celestial anomaly, they suggest a level of intelligence and technology that we've never encountered before. If 3I, Atlas, is indeed a piece of technology, it represents a breakthrough, a glimpse into a higher order of engineering that transcends anything we could have imagined. The question remains, why is 3I, Atlas, here? Is it a message from another civilization? Is it a tool, a probe, or something far more dangerous? With every new piece of data, we come closer to an answer, but that answer remains just beyond our grasp. As we wait for the object to cross the orbit of Mars, we must ask ourselves, what happens next? Will it pass quietly, or will it change everything we thought we knew about the cosmos? What we are witnessing is a cosmic event of unprecedented proportions, one that will rewrite the textbooks and redefine the future of space exploration. We are no longer simply watching a comet pass by, we are watching a revelation unfold. And in the end, when we finally understand what 3I, Atlas, is, we will be left with one undeniable truth. The universe is far more complex and mysterious than we could have ever imagined. We're just scratching the surface of this mind-blowing discovery. To stay updated with the latest data, analysis, and developments on 3I, Atlas, and other space mysteries, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. The journey into the unknown is just beginning, and you won't want to miss what's coming next.